open, but get into yourself. Then do that right now. You might remember something. Marty, do what I'm saying right now. So close your eyes to the outside world and turn on the inside light. Just think about yourself only. Think about yourself only. Remember the parts of yourself you've loved since childhood. And especially those parts you loved dearly about yourself in childhood. Can you remember the parts you loved dearly about yourself in childhood? Remember the parts of yourself you loved about yourself but were shunned, shamed. Remember the parts of you that were talented and excellent. Remember the parts of you in childhood that were funny. Remember all parts of you in childhood and then recognize which parts of you from childhood feel welcomed in your current age. Which parts of you from childhood still feel welcomed right now in your current age? Which parts of you from your childhood are on the outside looking in? Which ones feel welcomed and which ones are on the outside looking in because of society? Which parts of you from childhood were shrunk in a corner, sad and powerless? Which parts of you from childhood are right now not welcomed in your current consciousness? And most importantly, which parts of you from your childhood are now dead and forgotten? Can you remember? Can you recall who or what killed them? Can you recall when they were killed? And can you recall where you buried them? Can you recall the parts of yourself from childhood that you fought to protect and stayed connected with to date? Can you recall the parts of yourself from childhood that you fought to keep to date? Which parts about you from childhood did you hide in support? Which parts about you from childhood did you hide and supported in the dark? Nobody welcomed them, but you welcomed them and you hid them away and supported them in the dark, in secret, away from everybody else. Right now, can you support them even more? Can you hug those parts of you that stayed in the dark, one after another, and deeply thank them? And thank yourself for keeping them alive. Parts of you, you know when you are a child. When you are a child, you are the purest thing. You are whole. And when you are a child, you're moving towards Milele. Somebody's asking me, where is Milele? Milele is the eternal life that is being talked about in John chapter 3, verse 16. If you don't comprehend the concept, go watch The Lion King 2. You will know what Milele is. That is where everything is moving towards. If it is so painful to remember, then know you have work to do. You have to embody each and every. Most of the things that let people abandon parts of themselves is society, wanting to fit in. Fitting in is an illusion. It is impossible to fit in outside before you fit in inside. It is impossible to fit in outside before you fit in inside. It's an illusion. Childhood up to what age? Mostly from ages that you can remember in childhood, but mostly from ages 1 to age 12. From ages 1 to age 12, you are pure. You are purely yourself. You're absorbing your parents' beliefs, limiting beliefs, but you're purely yourself. Everything that you used to do, even the ones that society say that are negative. Because some of you, when you were a child, you were things that society said were negative. Negative to who? You come here to create a space. I go to prepare a space for you. Who? For your ancestors. Those parts of you that were a child, there are ancestors who are waiting to come in as those parts. If you shun them away and you kill them, you've blocked your ancestors from access. If you hold on to them and create space for them, then your ancestors will come in ululation. into the space that you created. Whether those parts were queer, whether those parts were manipulative and conniving, whether those parts were sexual, it doesn't matter. Remember, we all belong to a tomb, and everybody has their space in the great circle of life. Everyone has their space in the great circle of life. There's nobody who is a good person or a bad person. It's either you have a space in the great circle of life or you don't. It's either you can occupy space or you can't. If you can't occupy space, you are a slave. If you can occupy space, then you are matter. You matter. And as long as you matter, rules can be changed. Remember, slavery was once legal. It was legal because the people who loved slavery created space for slavery. So legality and illegality depends on who is sitting on the throne.